We've already started the show. So whoever's joining,
Yeah.
this is
Wow,
this is a ready speaker, and I have my guest on here, Kelly. Is it Grago? Is it Grago?
Yeah, Grago works. Yeah.
Grago works. Okay. Okay. Is that what kind of name is that? Because it seems very Middle Earth. So
No, so that's my stage name.
Okay.
Short.
You don't want to say the other name.
No, I'm going to tell you right now.
You're going to tell me. Okay.
Legal name.
Legal name.
My legal name is Gragosian.
Okay.
It's an Armenian name. It ends in IAN.
Yes, yes. Armenian. And with a nice carpet, usually. Yeah.
We got them. We got
all the Armenians in the best carpet stores.
We've got a few.
You got a couple.
We have several.
You have several.
Yeah. We're celebrating Armenian Christmas actually at the moment.
Yeah, because you go on the old calendar.
The old Christmas, little Christmas.
Yeah, you go the Julian calendar, right?
Yes,
it is the Julian calendar. A lot of people don't realize that. People with the Eastern Church, especially from areas around Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, all those Christian groups all celebrate on the Julian calendar rather than the other calendar, the modern calendar. And they're always about, was it 10 days off or so? I think we're a week off. Is it a week off?
Yeah. Somewhere
around that. Yeah. I know a lot.
I think that Christmas Day was initially celebrated on the 6th in a widespread manner.
I think, I read that recently too.
Something century where there was already.
That's when they thought Jesus was born. I mean, no one was really there.
I think that that's when Jesus was born, right?
Supposedly, on the 6th, right?
Well, that's like the idea, right? That was the first claim. And then I think there was already a similar holiday on the 25th. And so...
Well, yes, the winter solstice is closest to the winter solstice. So they tried to incorporate it with the pagan religions in Northern Europe. Rather than relying on the religions in the East, it gravitated over to the Goths and everybody. Anybody with a cloak, like a cloak and a beard.
Okay, so we have this, and then it's another party 10 days later. Can we just...
Yeah, can we just put them together if we could? If we could. I mean,
how many cups do I need?
How many cups of mead do I have?
I need to go to Party City.
I mean, we don't have that much clean water. We really can't do 2 parties. And that was the whole thing. See, my part of the world, we have tons of clean water. Actually, where my family comes from, we have so much clean water. It's amazing. I'm like, wow, you guys need clean water? That's bizarre to me because we've always had clean water. We have water coming out of mountains. It's crazy if you go through, and this is like a drinking game for all my shows. How many times I can mention being Albanian, but when you travel through like the northern parts of Albania, and some of the southern parts, they still have them intact, but they were literally like pipes hammered into the walls of these mountains into stone, and you have they're like smacked into a natural stream, and they just come out all day, and they're like
that's
sacred.
A spring. No.
It's a spring, but like they found it and nailed like a pipe into it. So it's not like a spring from the ground, which would imply springing up. Yeah.
Right.
It's actually like on the side of a mountain on the big stone. And they would put a big ass pipe there. Yeah. And they would, it probably would be called the Grago spring. I think it would be. That's how badass. That's how badass it kind of is.
It's a great idea.
Breaking stones. It's breaking stones. So, but it was actually, I took my son there last summer, and he was shocked by it because he's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Yeah, you can drink it." I go, "They consider it like holy water, so it's all blessed water." So I go, "Just drink it. It's sweet. You'll trust me. It'll be like candy."
It's sweet.
It is. It has like a sweet taste to it. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, it has a very subtle sweetness to it, and no matter where you go, it kind of tastes the same. I've been like in a whole bunch of different areas. Yeah, it's not Poland Spring. Poland Spring's kind of flat to me. It's not.
And take a brief sponsor moment for.
You can, yeah, and eventually they will pay you or chase you.
Until they do, I don't have any comments.
Yeah.
Kelly,
tell me more about you. Just so the audience knows, Kelly and I met during a stage reading of a play in New York City. I found her, an excellent performer on stage. I saw that she had a background in comedy, and I was like, why don't we sit and talk? I have a background in comedy, and maybe we can make some comedic things happen, little comedic explosions. And that's usually how comedic jokes are born. And just comedy is born that way. It's just
funny and funny.
And funny come together, and all of a sudden there's little funnies everywhere.
I don't know. So. When I realized and then researched to reinforce, another 3 re's.
Okay.
That you were a comedy individual. I was sort of, you know, like, oh, great. So it's just, you know, we're of the same like tribe.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it is. It's a genetic code, I think. The people who strive to make jokes, you know, not at other people's expense. That's always been my thing. I don't like to make. I mean, I'll make fun of people, but that's okay.
Oh, it's so much easier. It's so much easier to just use yourself, because
but if you can make fun of yourself at the same time, it's kind of awesome. You know,
because you know that you're capable of holding it in until later when you can cry about it, right?
Yes, because there's tears.
Yeah. Oh yeah, endless. Yeah. Do you ever,
tears.
Roland? Do you ever? This is like some. I don't. I've always noticed that when I make a joke that it is like, comedy is truth.
Yeah.
So whenever like it's a joke that's that is like super duper like truth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I start to like tear up a little bit.
I've never teared up, but I have known when I've said, oh wow, I really said that. I've done that. And I'm like, man, I probably shouldn't have said that. You know, and then I do realize the person was a douche. So I'm like, okay, the guy deserved it. But there are moments where like, wow, that came out way too fast and way too natural. You know, and that's why everybody's really upset right now for a minute.
Wow, I really meant that. There's no way I can play that off.
Yeah, that's what
I think.
Like, I can't believe I really
think that.
I was like, that is just you know, embarrassingly deep of me. You know, and now I feel better about me usually after something like that. I just don't feel that great about other people. Yeah. So I mean, it's comedy's an unusual thing for me. I came from a very talkative family, which a lot of people who know me, you know, I talk endlessly, and I'm guilty of laughing at my own jokes. I think they're kind of funny sometimes. So
how would you know? Yeah. How else do you know?
I laugh. I'm like, that's kind of funny, bro.
Also, when you tell what's funny, it should make you laugh first, right?
It makes me laugh. I mean, it should be funny.
Yeah.
So, and I'm always
doing somebody else's joke that you don't think is funny, then you're not gonna. You won't do it justice, and other people won't.
Yeah. And I'll watch stuff, and I'm like, I'm probably the harshest critic for comics all the time. It's just I look at rhythm and stuff like that. But
oh yeah, there's something to cadence.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're seeing that, you know, their cadence, the delivery, you know, what kind of contact they're making, if it's a character or not. Yeah, you know, it's I always find that kind of interesting. But like I said, I came from a very talkative family, and we always made jokes. Like my family the whole town is known for making jokes where I come from. Some towns make cars, some towns have like wood. We have wood craftsmen too, but something else. like some towns are known for certain things. Our town is known for busting chops. It's a weird thing, but we're actually known for it. And so whenever all these guys get together, it's endless busting of chops. It's endless of stories of how somebody busted.
Is it a small town?
Yeah, it is now. It's funny. It's actually it's on the border of North Macedonia and Albania. And after one of the world wars, the Balkan Wars, they decided to split the area in half. And so one half of the town families live on one side of the border, and one half lives on the other side. But it's in walking distance. Wow. Like I can see the other town pretty much. Like I can see the border from my grandmother's farm.
That's probably great for team sports.
No, because the border was closed. so it was actually a lot of sad and tears. It was closed for a very long time. So well played, Kelly. Well played. Well played. Well played.
I figured they could share the same stadium.
They know. They actually know. For a long time, it was not. No. So there's and a lot of people emigrated from that town. There was like a main like hub for different kinds of people from various towns to come there, and there's main travel area. But again, once borders got established, like the travel road moved, and it's sort of like the Sunrise Highway in Long Island. Like that was a major highway at one point, and then it just wasn't. Yeah.
What about the Clearview Expressway?
Clearview
How
Expressway.
Do you feel about Clearview?
Where is that again?
Somebody told me that is like the shortest expressway in the world. I don't know if that's true.
Clearview is just there's the Cross Island, and then the Clearview is the one after. Where is it? Yeah, okay.
I think that's the one going to the Whitestone, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one that goes to the Whitestone. Yeah, I don't know. It might be the shortest. Yeah, that's pretty short. About 15 minutes. It's got a nice view when you go towards the Whitestone, though. I do like that view.
Oh yeah.
You go by Little Neck. Actually, it's kind of nice looking. So I guess it was probably meant for like some rich guy and say, you know what, fine, just take my land and put.
Are you on Long Island?
I'm on Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Yeah,
huh?
I'm the southernmost tip of racist America in New York State. So I'm about as red as it gets, and it's uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah, it's actually it's kind of Staten Island is like it's the Yonkers of New York City, which is saying a lot because no one likes Yonkers, but it's the Yonkers of New York City.
So far away. I'd rather go to Yonkers than trek to Staten Island.
Yeah, that's because you're on Long Island. You guys have this inadequacy about other islands. You just want to hit mainland. We just wonder. I just always wonder why it wasn't part of Jersey. I was like, it's so close to Jersey. I'm like, we get all our deer from Jersey. I don't know why.
I think. Who do you think had the final say, Jersey or New York? I think it was Jersey, and they sort of just like.
No, I think it was like New York was like the Count of New York was just richer and said, yeah, I just want more stuff. I think that's really what it was. It's like they just pissed people off. Count of Jersey said, yeah, I'll take this, I guess. Let's put a garden here. I'll call it the Garden State. It's fine. And then New York was like, yeah, I just want shit all the way up to Canada. If you just give it to me. I have no idea. I know I probably banged my cousin, but let's just give me the property I could possibly have. So
how often are you in Jersey?
I don't go to Jersey much. I'm actually closer to Brooklyn. Yeah, I get Jersey. I understand Jersey. But like the Jerseyans, I'll call them Jerseyans. They pass through Staten Island. I really just pass through Jersey. I just go where I gotta go, and that's it. Like I don't really stop.
It's not even a stop.
I go to Pennsylvania a lot, which is weird. So
yeah,
I have stuff in Pennsylvania, but I like Pennsylvania.
I feel like everybody has family in Pennsylvania.
Everybody's got to have somebody in Pennsylvania. I'll give you one interesting tidbit, then we'll go back to talking about you. Did you know the royal family? Yes, you can write this down. The royal family actually is German, which I think a lot of people know. And their last name was German until World War I. They changed it because they didn't want to be associated with the Germans because of World War I. And King George, that we all learned about in elementary school about the Revolutionary War and everything, he didn't speak English.
No way.
Yeah, so he was he spoke German. So they're all German speakers.
There's so much entertainment coming out about the royal family.
I wish they would say, and by the way, they're all freaking German. They're not even English. I would love. I know a lot of English people are very like, English got to be pure blooded and all the weird shit that they say sometimes.
Well,
I'm like, actually, the royal family's not German.
Well, that's like their whole thing. That's why they're the royal family, because they
only marry each other. Yeah.
Right. Like the pure bloodline or whatever. Right?
Yeah. And all the royal family of Europe is related, and they marry each other. So like the prince, if there was a king of Armenia that was associated to Europe, he would have to be German. He wouldn't be Armenian. He would actually just be sent over to Armenia to rule it. Like the king of Greece was German. The king of Albania was German. The king of Spain was German. They were part of the Holy Roman Empire in the Habsburg Empire. So it's actually really interesting when you think how fucked up it is when we learned all this stuff. You're like, but he's not even Spanish. He's actually German. The king's German.
Yeah, right. It's like, wait, what is he doing here?
Yeah, like he's German. Like, he's German, right? It's like, okay, just throw it out there.
No, I am your representative. I'm for you.
That's it's kind of funny. It was actually really, really funny. I find it funny.
I find it hysterical, Roland.
Yeah, that we all I can see all that energy. So tell me more about you. Like you do comedy. What kind of stuff do you do? Because we're going to talk about a little bit of comedy today.
All right.
And what people do out there. I've been out of it for a while. It's my background is in comedy. I started in sketch, and I started in theater and everything, and somewhat regionally successful, I would say, where I was doing the clubs and traveled, and people came and saw us. But I only got so far with this age. Once you start getting white beard, it's you can be white, you just can't have white beard. So
well, you can have a white beard, you just can't play the teenager anymore.
No, I can't. I can't play.
I mean, you could play the teenager, you just couldn't play it convincingly.
Yeah, I can do it. I can nail it. I can totally nail it.
No doubt you can nail it. Okay.
I can nail that. Oh, I can nail that. I could nail confused and not really thinking about.
You would blow these 16-year-olds out.
Oh yeah. Well, at least part of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we're onto something.
At least part of that statement would happen. At least part of that statement.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you information about myself.
Yes, please.
Here it is. I guess I started with doing improv.
Okay.
And then I guess in high school, I started doing improv. Then also in high school, I started doing musical theater.
Right.
And I learned that I could sing.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a huge plus, especially for improv.
Right. Yes. Yeah, it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Song improv is really funny.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. I never could do it. So I kudos to you. I was way too nervous.
It's so scary if you've never done it. I remember
I don't remember songs well. I'm like, I just can't do this. I'm like,
I remember my friends like pulled me into the chorus room and they were like, you could sing Happy Birthday, you know what I mean? And like, if you can carry a tune, like that's enough to build upon.
Yeah, that's great.
So I went to what was formerly the American Musical Theater Academy, different name now.
Yeah.
In Manhattan, and I trained there for a couple of years.
Okay.
Then, and I sort of learned, like my whole comedy, like it took a whole, like, what they do in like, acting school, like they break it down and build it back up again, like that's the whole thing. They didn't do that too much, like emotionally, but my comedy for sure was like, you're not allowed to do comedy for 6 months.
Right.
Because it gets like shticky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you start doing like sort of like an impression of yourself.
Yeah.
And so I became way funnier through that school when I had to stop doing comedy for a while and then come back to it. And also through other, studying and stuff like that. Then like musical theater was my world all of a sudden.
Okay.
Which I hadn't planned on. I'd planned on just doing acting.
Right.
And
did you see West Side Story?
No.
No, you gotta see it. I'm just gonna go back, but you gotta see it. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna bring it up again because I'm embarrassed for you.
I'll see it and then we need to talk about it.
Yeah, I would love that. You gotta see it. Okay.
So before I revealed that I hadn't seen West Side Story, so I did musical theater, and then my first gig, like my first like big thing, was this national tour called the Pout Pout Fish. It was based on a really popular kids book by the same name. Mm-hmm. It was a puppet, like it was. What is it called?
Marionette?
No, it's not marionette. It's not. Is it kabuki? It's not kabuki.
Not kabuki.
I don't remember what I'm thinking of.
The other key that I know is going to be weird.
It's like bunraku. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
It was bunraku based puppets that were like this big, and you would hold them over your head of like fish, because the whole show was like pout pout fish. Right?
Okay.
So I held this big pout pout fish over my head and did like it was a 9-month tour.
Wow. That must have been an experience.
It was so surreal. Like it felt like
I'm jealous, but that must have been some experience.
I'm really grateful that it was my first big break.
Yeah.
It definitely had a bit of like shock, and that it was happening at all. We started at the New Victory Theater in Times Square. That's where we sort of launched.
Yeah.
So like going to work every day there, like in Times Square, was fantastic. Like it was a great feeling.
Yeah.
I toured with them until March of 2020. Mm-hmm. And then obvious events occurred, which led me to starting like this company with my writing partner, business partner. And it's called the Virtual Stage Company. We started doing virtual theater that was like better than typical like virtual, what you would think of now as virtual theater.
Okay.
Like not Zoom theater.
Right.
Anyway, so that happened, I don't know, for like a year we did that.
Mm-hmm. And you wrote your own pieces, or did you get other scripts? Where did you find your material?
We did a virtual Seussical. We did a virtual like song selection of, various Broadway songs.
Nice.
Then we started getting hired by schools to do.
That's amazing.
Make virtual theater for them. So we did like a Sound of Music. We did a couple operas, Pirates of Penzance. We did what was the other one we did? I don't remember right now. But
that's fine. No, it's fine. That's amazing though. I think that's great. You really took an opportunity where things are going down, and you did a pivot that you know, people don't talk about enough about people like you who do these great pivots and keep going towards something and just reinvent the moment, not themselves. They are who they are, but they're reinventing the moment and how they can get through it. And that's amazing. Wow. I didn't know that. So this expression of admiration and
thank you
is honest. It's very sincere.
Thank you. I find that like the most successful events in people's lives tend to be things that they don't expect, or they didn't go into it thinking that it was going to bring them success.
Probably, yeah.
You know, like they did it because they liked it, or you know,
well, you're going in with no baggage. I get that. You're going in with no expectations, no baggage.
Yeah.
And if you land well, and you keep moving.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. That's
it
pretty,
was really helpful. Taught myself audio mixing, and that's, you know, I've kept that. Like that's something that I
audio is key. Audio is key. Hey. Good audio.
Yeah, it is. It does. It makes a difference.
Yeah, bad audio. I mentioned that too, because I'll watch like short films or even when I'm talking to somebody about a film. But this poor audio, I lose my mind. I lose my mind because it's so distracting. And I've actually watched older films with my kids, and we'll watch films. I did like a recommend list for every like 5 years. My older boy wanted me to recommend movies from when I was younger. And my boy's 26, so he's he had a full range. And I'm an old bastard, so I know a lot of old movies. So and I used to watch even the older stuff. Like, you got to watch this from this period. You got to watch this from this period. And it was remarkable how audio really took off after the 90s. Before that, it was really shoddy. Like audio was really tough to listen to. It all sounded like it was done in a soundstage after the movie was shot, and then it just changed. Then you got the Foley mixing and effects and everything, and the realism in the audio. It's so interesting when you see that dynamic.
I mean, when it's flawless, that's something is like when it's flawless, you don't think about it and you don't appreciate.
It's like a haircut.
You a good haircut.
I do. Yeah, most people don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a bad haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you only notice a bad haircut. You never notice.
Yeah, you only know exactly.
Yeah. So is that same thing? You never. That's why audio guys always get paid. People are like, why you got to pay them? Because no one notices good audio. They only notice bad audio. Right. You always got to pay audio.
My business partner was doing the video editing, and I would do the audio editing. That's how we split the things up.
Yeah.
And so all of the comments, would typically be about, the most obvious thing, which is the video editing. And it was very, there was such spectacle and like, it was so interesting.
Yeah.
But every once in a while I would get the person that was like, hey, who mixed the audio? It sounds really good.
Yeah, no, that's pretty, that's enjoyable. Yeah.
And I would hold them close,
The first short I filmed, I couldn't find somebody to edit it. And I'm like, okay, so I'll edit it. I ended up editing it at work after hours. And I found the audio kid to come and said, listen, I made the audio. It was about somebody who was transgender and had to change the voice pitch a little bit. And I was making all these things. And I'm like, okay, this is what I got to do. And I needed somebody to give me, a little reassurance that I was doing something right. And I said, so I paid a guy, brought a guy in for a couple of nights because it fixed the audio. Right. So he comes in and he goes, okay, I have these filters that are pre-filled, these filter setups I use for changing pitch. I'm like, okay, great. You're the expert. I go, let me just pull all mine out and you put your filters in. So he puts his filters in, and you have no idea how close my filters were to his filters.
Really?
And he goes, you already did this. I'm like, well, yeah. I go, here's my filter. I just plugged it in. He goes, yeah, you're fine with the audio, bro. Because there's a couple other things you do for sound design, but otherwise, like, you got most of it right. He did. I was like, all right, bro. I brought you in. I brought you in. I go, I can't fault you on that.
I mean, I guess for coming out, yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, audio guys always get paid. But it wasn't a lot, but it was just really just a help. And it was like a favor through somebody else. But yeah, I did. He cleaned it up a little bit. He still said, I'll clean it up for you. So he just stayed there and just cleaned everything up as best he could. But the fact that I had done most of it. And then that's where my appreciation came from it, where I was like, okay, now I'm listening to it. Like, what's the noise? Like right away. And actually, my older boy, I got him some audio gear. And later, as I was making films, I was like, why am I paying guys? I was buy the gear and you do it. And he was just, he's always on set anyway as my PA. So I said, learn how to do audio. It's better than being a PA, better than going to get me soda. I mean, you freaking just learn how to do this.
I have an audio horror story that you probably will appreciate then.
Okay.
So I acted in my first movie.
Yeah.
This last year, I guess. Yeah. And we had these mic packs that were, I don't know what the brand was, but they were like nice ones, like I don't know what it was, like
Sennheiser or something like that, probably.
I think it was.
Those are the ones that were nice.
And there was a scene where me and the actor that played opposite me, we were like right on the water, like sitting on rocks, and we were like trying to ignore the fact that water was
right. Yeah.
Like for the sake of the movie, I think it was like it was dark comedy. It was pretty like sarcastic,
right,
and quirky. And so, we thought it'd be funny if, as I'm speaking, as we're both speaking, and water just, hits our legs or whatever, we just continue, and we're soaked calves. We just don't care. So we changed the angle, getting another angle, and I had to move my mic pack to, the front part of my belt. As we're doing that scene, like up till now, it's been below the knees.
Right.
As we're filming this scene and my mic pack is right in front, this huge wave crashes.
Wow.
And I am completely soaked. I'm smoking a cigarette and it's like this now.
Oh my God.
The mic pack, the mic pack is soaked, and I still, I continue whatever. We continue the scene, and I'm like,
no one's got this. No one's got this.
So we finish the scene, and I walk over to the director, the sound guy. The sound guy sees my mic pack, and he's like, "You, no, you,
wow."
Wow. And I was like, I was told. I was just doing what I was told. And
you couldn't help that. I mean, that's an $800 piece of equipment.
That was the price. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it ended up being a little bit more than that. I think it was like $1,000. It was
that's what they go for. I mean, it depends how high end and new it is. Yeah, no, that's a struggle. That's like wow. That I was doing this shooting this lens management is a peeve of mine. So the first time I rented a camera and some glass for usually I buy my own. I buy budget stuff, and that's how I was doing it. Mm-hmm. And but I'm really particular about lens management. Now, I didn't go to school for this stuff, but I know you don't touch the glass. And I had this kid helping, and the people I rented it from lost their shit on me because there were fingerprints inside all the glass. And I'm like, bro, this kid went to school for it. I was telling the DP, I go, I know this kid. He went to school for this. And there's fingerprints everywhere. The guy was showing me photos. Like, here, I'll show you more photos. How embarrassing this is. He's like, who the hell was touching this glass? I'm like, I was humiliated.
You touch maybe
they're lazy. It's just lazy. I've done it. I've been a assistant camera. He's like, you don't touch the glass. Like, there's ways you hold it. You don't touch the glass. They just put it in their palms or whatever, and they just touched it. And I was like, wow, you're an idiot. Absolute idiot. Absolutely. Lost my mind. It's tough. It's tough to create
with other people's equipment, man.
I try to be. That's why I like I said, when I do stuff, I do all low budget. So I have a lot of gear. And I write, if I write something or I make something, I make it for what I have. That's usually how I write best. I this is what I have, and this is what I go with, and I move with that. If I need something else or something different, maybe I'll buy it. Every time I've done a show or something, I've bought something for me out of it, because I really take payment out of my own projects. So that's the way I pay myself. Like I would just buy myself either new lens, something cool, a slide maybe for the camera, or something interesting. So I feel like I got something out of it, because I know I'll just sacrifice everything to get it done. And now the first sacrifice is me saying, okay, I won't take pay. Let's just get this done. And I know my habit. So whenever I would do a project, I always made sure that I bought something for me to make more projects. So be a sound gear, be a camera stuff. be a quirky little thing, be it a kind of seat that is liked.
Yeah, like
the matter. Yeah,
like the like industry toys that we
yeah,
like.
it's a little toy. Like, okay, I just want to use this. I just want to use it.
You know,
yeah,
like
and that's it. And it always makes me feel better.
Item, really.
Yeah, it makes me feel better, about it. So I don't feel like I'm even using myself. So yeah. So what? Now you did this great virtual theater thing, which again, very very amazing. That is really awesome. Just thinking about it is cool as hell. So like, what are your next steps? What do you think now? I mean, 2022, we're getting locked down again, it seems. But we'll see what happens.
I think it's going to be a wave, and then we'll move past it here in the next.
I think so too. I have to actually feel. I didn't anticipate all the variants coming through.
Yeah.
The initial one was out within like 3 months, and we were fine. I thought that's what was going to happen, and I thought people were going to be smart about it. And then we just most people, a lot of people aren't, not most, but I think a lot of people aren't smart about it, and they're just perpetuating, this cycle out of ignorance. But once we get past, I think this last wave, I'm hoping,
well, this one is so, I don't know. I don't need to use buzzwords that you've been hearing, but it'll move through really quickly, and
it's not as dangerous. It's contagious, but like a lot of stuff is. So you just gotta be smart and stop hugging people. Whenever you see them.
Remember that app? Remember that game, like that iPhone game, Plague Inc.?
Oh no, I don't remember that.
There was this iPhone app that I would play when I was younger. It was like I don't know, 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
No, not 15. How old is an iPhone?
Like, I have no idea. I'm an old man. I'm still on Android. I can't even make the flip. It just hurts me.
Android. Come on, you no shame in Androids.
I like it. I like it.
I'm done with the shaming. The Android people.
I've got a budget phone here, and my last one fell dismally, blew apart, and I bought it with the housing intact.
Listen,
and it comes sealed. It's like something that's awesome.
I am an Apple addict.
Yeah.
They monopolize all of my information. Yeah. They know everything about me. I don't have any items that aren't Apple. So please.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. I try.
Using the Android,
I like it. Actually, I like it. I'm that guy.
I can't leave now. I'm hooked. I can't leave.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of people like that. It's fine. I work around it easier. That's all. I'm a guy who always worked around things, so I think that's probably why I like it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I can just download something if I like it, and it just works differently for me in my head, and it just always worked easier for me to integrate. Except I don't have to live in that ecosystem, and maybe that's one other fear of mine. As personality-wise, I don't like feeling stuck in an ecosystem.
Huh.
So if I feel stuck, then right away I have to make some rules for me to get out if I have to.
Are you claustrophobic?
No, I'm not. But I don't like crowds.
You don't like crowds?
I don't like crowds. I don't like anybody that close to me.
So no, you don't like concerts and stuff
no,
like that?
No, I'm not a big concert guy. I've gone to a few, but I've always hung in the back, wondering why they're all really excited. Because I just don't get it. I'm like, bro, I just don't get it. I just don't get this. I just don't get my boys love concerts. I'm like, I just don't. I sit in the back. I'm like, I have no idea why you guys are this excited. It sounds much better in the car.
I want to be a concert person. And I want to go to more concerts, but it's not something. Their tickets are so expensive, and I'm not such a super duper fan of any one group.
My younger guy is. He goes to concerts still. Tries to be as safe as he can. He was in the concert last week. He was at the Barclays Center. My older boy. He's more into the punk rock scene. So he would do little shows when he was younger. He got more into it, which I was like, okay, that's what I grew up with. So I was like, yeah, I'll take you to the shows and I'll wait outside. Just tell me when you're done. I know you guys are gonna get sloppy in there. So that's fine. It is what it is. But for me growing up, I know a lot of people. It's like sports and I just not that enamored. I'm enamored with moments. I'm not enamored with people. In perpetuity. And anybody to me can lose my attention. Anybody, doesn't matter how good you were. Should
I start tap dancing? Is that
no? I don't want that. No, it's a whole different kind of webcam show, and it's just different. It's very different. It does have a demographic a little bit above me, but it's a very different show. No, it's like some people are like, I can't. I know a guy who loves Scorsese to the point where if you say anything like, yeah, this movie wasn't that great, like The Irishman sucked, and he gets very emotional about it, and he refuses. I'm like, but there's so many faults in that. I mean, it was a get paid movie. It was a get paid movie. Just admit it though. He can still be your idol. He did some good things, but to say he's flawless at every moment is like, okay, I don't know about that. I don't know if anybody's flawless. That's the point. They should never think they're flawless, because then you keep going. And that applies like comedy and acting, and like comedy especially. I think there's a lot of people. I'm just watching some stuff on Netflix right now, trying to see what's out there. And people got their bits, they got the characters, and I find it interesting. I watched Chappelle's, last special, which wasn't a comedy show. And that was like a night with Dave. It was not, people have to stop thinking it's a comedy show. It was never a comedy show. It's just him with an audience of people who liked what he says and want to hear what he says. And I heard what he said. I got it. I totally understood it. I just didn't think it was a comedy show. It was entertaining, but you have to know what it is, before you're saying it's something else. And I got what he said. I totally get it, but and I don't, and I don't have to agree with everything either. I don't know if his logic is 100%. But like anybody, it's never 100%. No one's 100%.
Yeah, we're all sort of,
we find our way.
Everything is constantly developing.
Right. Yeah. But that's like with people like that's what I find very unusual. And that's what bothers me about being so attached to something, be it a filmmaker, a comic, anything, a product, is that if it's not really, growing and being better, then I don't know why I care. Like as a boss, when I was working, I used to tell, this was how I rated people, and people used to get mad at me, but because I would tell employees, I say, okay, what have you done better for you in the last year? Not for me. I don't really give a shit about me. I don't really even care that much about the company. But if it's better for you, then we feed off of that. It'll be better for me too, and because by association it's better. So, but how have you made your life better at work in the last year? What choices have you made? What have you changed? What have you thought about to make your life better?
Yeah.
Is it just like goals that I'm applying to you? Well, that's not making your life better. You're just following, orders. Is it because you're really a hard worker, or you put in the extra hours? That means nothing. That's labor. I mean, once labor stops, then your benefits stop.
Right. Labor is just
it's just labor. I knew a guy that ran a whole business like that. When his times got tough, he just fired one guy and worked 2 shifts, his own business.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not success. That's you working 2 jobs.
Yeah, I just listened to somebody who made a comment about this very thing, which was that being your own boss, the effort that you put in directly correlates with the progress that you glean.
Yeah, well, you always have to think about progress. I think the effort to progress is not the effort to labor, and effort to thinking.
I mean, the more effort that you put in to whatever, a sales position or something, there's not always the possibility of growth.
Right.
Like, if you put in the bare minimum, like the consequence of not doing your work when you work for somebody is getting fired. But if you work for yourself, then the consequence of not doing work is complete failure, right?
It is. I mean, but I think people, like I said, from my perspective, it's how do you change things for the better? Always. You have to change something for the better. It can't just be doing the same thing, because then you're stagnant. That means the world is moving faster, and then it's moving around you. And like I used to work in webcasting with a lot of like enterprise CEOs, and they would always talk this nonsense, and to their shareholders, and a lot of these guys are, God bless them, they're making a lot of money, but a bunch of them are fucking idiots. Just being plain simple, a bunch of them are fucking idiots, and they're surrounded by yes people. And they've never matured past that point. They're very lucky to get where they were going. But when you ask the question, how are you going to make things better? You never really got an answer, because they didn't know. It's not
really about that.
They didn't know. It's like, hey, I'm coasting. I'm a genius. Everyone tells me.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they make it better or not. Like if they continue.
That doesn't for them.
If they put in like 110% effort versus they put in like the minimum amount of effort, I don't know. The reward is the same
for them. Yeah, for the reward is the same
for them. They just stay where they are. They get to stay where they are. They get to not be fired.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like I remember, there was an insurance company that got saved. There was a webcast we were doing, and the CEO was talking, and he was saying how everybody's like ripping on them because they got all this bailout money, and they were still giving out bonuses, and like that makes no sense, because the company failed essentially. And he goes, well, bonus to us is salary. It's never, if you do the bare minimum, you get the bare minimum bonus, no matter what. And I was like, wow, that makes no sense, because to me, then you're not a real company, a successful
No, a
company.
bonus, yeah, bonus is expected for sure.
Right. And
just like raises are expected.
Yeah. Well, no, but if you're failing, if you didn't even show up and you didn't get fired, you got a bonus.
Wow.
That was his logic. And I was like, well, that makes no sense to me.
But it's the same thing with like scheduled raises, right?
Yeah.
Like they're, you know.
Oh, I mean, to a point, with scheduled raises, to me, that's a cost of living thing. And
right, to keep it consistent.
To keep it where real money is. I'm not saying, like 5% now is the cost of living increase.
Right.
That's five. It used to be 3%.
Yeah,
now it's 5%.
Yeah.
So if you don't get 5%, his rent's going up 5%. Everything's going. Gas is going up 5%.
Everything has to move up at the same.
Right. So you have to make it so he's making the same money in real money terms.
Right.
There was the Economist does the McDonald's index, like it's what a hamburger costs is really like the real money terms.
Exactly. And, That's why there's no like $1 item.
Right. So if everything gets more expensive, you're making less money. So now, do I want to work?
The bonus implies some sort of like extra credit for putting.
That's extra credit. That's you got a bonus. You did. I had one of my jobs. I worked for an AV house, not AV. It was an edit house. And the guy, if you worked hard, he gave you, he gave you a nice bonus. You worked hard, and it wasn't the extra hours. It was just the effort you put into those hours you were working.
Right.
And so it wasn't extra hours, it wasn't overtime, but it was the hours. If you really hustled and you did a good job and he had faith in you, he gave you a nice bonus. If you were, in some years, like, you really didn't hustle this year, you didn't get a bonus. You're gonna get your raise, but no bonus. And that's fine. I agree with that. That there is that sort of merit system there. And that's, but the thing too is, I know we're like so serious now because we're talking about comedy, but my peeve about this whole concept is that it is implied that you will get a bonus, and people leverage that, and then they don't give it to you or a raise.
Yeah.
And there's always everything's implied that this is how the system works, but it really doesn't. And
it defeats the purpose.
It's kind of weird to me. I know it sounds like, and people will be like, oh, this is like, the way socialism works. But if the company's making a shitload of money, and on my back, I should get something out of it, because it's not because some genius guy at the top said, oh my God, I developed a new product. No, we got busy. And COVID is a prime example. My company was really busy because of COVID. And it was me engineering the crews to work and engineering the staff to work. And I got laid off eventually. I mean, it was a wish fulfillment layoff. I was losing my mind there. But there were people getting laid off. Forget about me, but I know people were getting laid off or getting, not getting a raise. And we had done like 4x from what was expected. Mm-hmm. So 400 times more than what was expected, as demanded as an increase in work, which is already tough. So the business grew 400% more than what was their expected growth, which is obscenely high at the time anyway. And they told everybody, no, we're not gonna give any credits or bonuses this year, for this. And I was like, but you made all this shitload of money. Like, I know you made a lot of money because I see it. I saw it come in.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it's weird.
The counter argument to it from their perspective is that they were the ones being the, whatever, partners of the company. Yeah. They were the ones that made the initial investments. They're the ones that are
I get that.
Highest financial risk, right? So
yeah, but it doesn't hold for me. I get their argument. I get that argument. I get that argument. I totally do. But if everyone said, guess what, by law, they were making people work 80 hours a week.
I mean, that's just not fair. Yeah.
Right. So people working 80 hours a week to make sure the company didn't implode. So that's tough.
You should compensate people for their work.
Right. They got a little bonus. Some people were hourly. They got like $100, like an Amazon card, which was a slap in the face. I mean, there's a whole bunch. I don't want to get too much into it because they can be douchebags probably, but there was like a whole bunch of things where I tried to get people into into the right place, into the right headspace, and really credit people for what they were worth. And it just landed wrong. But I think that's also an American culture. I think we're obsessed with salesmen in this culture, and they're always the one. You work for sales. And I was told that throughout my career, and you work for sales. You don't work for anybody else. That to me is like a little backwards. There were plenty of times the sales bagged out of a conversation, and I would lead the whole project, and they would get the bonus. And I would just get I wouldn't even get a thank you email sometimes. So it was like really weird. Yeah, but they would get the bonus. They would get like the vacation trip and everything. I'm like, well, you didn't do the work.
I guess the idea behind that.
Well, the idea is like, oh, but they speak to the client all the time.
Right.
When in fact they didn't, because the client was calling me because they couldn't actually reach the person.
Yeah.
So
like,
so I was like, actually, no. And they're like, well, that's how it is. That's how usually what I was told. That's how it is. And you got to deal with it. I'm like, okay.
I've had one office type job. And I've had other like non-theater jobs, right. But one office, sitting in an office job. Yeah. And it was for the school that I attended, the musical theater school that I attended. And I was their office manager for, I don't know, like almost a year, somewhere right around there.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, I don't know, personally, I was just slowly disintegrating.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I got. That's where I got. Yeah. I've been there a long time.
The 9-to-5 thing, being alone in an office, like being alone in your own like office is, works. It works for some people, and like that's so awesome. And I wish it worked for me.
Yeah, I got that. I got to that place as well. That's why I was like a wish fulfillment. You know, like
I just found myself I found myself slowly shrinking.
I was entirely way too depressed. Entirely way too depressed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is nuts. My creativity like just shrank and shriveled.
I know, because then you get home after working 9 hours and you're like just dead. You've done nothing creative all day. None. And then you're like zing zing. You know,
yeah, exactly. Now you gotta write jokes. I'm like,
guys.
You know, and that's well, speaking of that, what's your next venture now that you know you're doing this stuff? What do you think? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Like, where do you want to be as a performer and an actor? I know my answer is always, I want to be, you know, do what I want, do what I love. You know,
I was just going to say that. I don't know. Like, I just want to be always at any point in time feeling like up till now, I am happy with what I was able to achieve with the time I was given.
Yeah.
So that just means not wasting time.
Yeah.
You know, like not wasting time, like being lazy, like I'm not, you know what I mean? But like wasting time, like.
Well, I'll give you something to think about. I had a heart attack 3 years ago. So that put like my whole life in a different perspective. It's not to feel bad. I lived. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, thank goodness.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, if I just mean, oh man, that must have been traumatic.
Well, one person was like, I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry, bro. I lived. I go, no, man, it's okay. I'm here. I'm making jokes. So it put my life in. Like, I got hit by Sandy, and like I've had a lot of stuff happen. Oh, you know, so to me, my life has been like up and down for years. Yeah. And I've always, from a little kid, I wanted to be, you know, a performer in some way. I knew that. But my parents I'm an immigrant. You know, I came here when I was 3, and my parents were immigrants, and that just wasn't something that we did in this country. In the old country, we have family who were actors, and actually one of my cousins right now has got a film that's going all over Europe, and all this stuff. And we have, you know, I had a cousin who was the strong man of Albania, and like his whole family worked in the circus. I'm like, why is that cool? Yet I can't. I can go. I mean, the guy, one of his, like, I mean, they were trapeze artists. I mean, his son-in-law was a trapeze artist. I'm like, why is that cool? And me wanting to do something that's artistic is like, hey, shut up and just get a job. You know? So you're not like them.
What are you doing? There's no money in it.
There's no money in it. It's got a trapeze artist in communist Albania. There is no money there. Like, why is that cool? Why is that cool? So I've always had. It is cool, but why? It is. Like, why is it cool for me? Not cool? Yeah, like, why is that, you know, better than what I want to do? So I've always had that desire to create and do and
for sure.
And, you know, and that, and even fall into sketch comedy was a fluke. It was a really close friend of mine. We were working together, and his group was just, you know, drifting apart, which happens with group dynamics, you know, characters and dynamics and everything, personalities. And he asked me to be a part of it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna be part of that. I just bust balls. I don't do anything else. You know, he's like, no, I think you have talent. And he pushed me into it, and we ended up doing it for, you know, for years, probably 8 years, I think, total.
Wow. And you got really far from what you said.
Yeah, no, and we, you know, we got pretty close, where we had Comedy Central talking to us, and we had Nickelodeon talking to us. We had meetings, and we had a production, you know, house looking at us to see if we can create things. We had, you know, we met a lot of people, and I learned a lot. That was my education into not just into theater, into acting and doing what I love, but it's really more of an education of who I am, and that helped me really break out of you know, what I thought I should be, was once I started doing things like this. And that's why I'm a big proponent of like theater in schools and film projects and writing stories, and people need to stay creative, because you find your way in some place. And it for me, it lowers boundaries of fears, because people have fear of all kinds of stuff. But once you start writing stories and your mind starts really exploring outside of those walls, you lose a lot of those boundaries of fear. And fears of the other, because different kinds of people, sexuality, everything. I make fun of everything. I make fun because
there's no
of
grades
everything.
in it. There's no grades. There's no like wrong.
It's all experience based, and you push until you have to say sorry. And I was always, and I still am, the first person who will say sorry. If I know I went too far with you, I will publicly say it. I have no problem saying it. If I said, man, I shouldn't have said that, I will say, hey, listen, I'm really sorry.
I think that's just being a polite person.
It's maturity level, I think. For me, that's how I always looked at it. I got to be the most mature guy I can be, because I'm having fun.
Move past your ego enough to apologize.
Right. I gotta, like people like I'm bald as shit. So people used to make fun of my, hey, you're losing hair. I'm like, bro, knock me on something I can change, not something I can't. And I would laugh about it. I'm like, you can make a joke about me. That's fine, but do something I can change. If I could change it, I didn't say checkbox bald head. I didn't do that. I look okay bald. Luckily.
That was funny.
But I didn't say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with this look, because I'm gonna go with a look I can never change. Absolutely lock this down.
That sentence was really funny. I didn't go checkbox bald. That's a funny sentence.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, but yeah, so that to me is, when you have that level of maturity, that you can be comfortable with yourself, and you can really explore different things and different ideas. It's just so, to me, it's so interesting, and I have, like, my friend Brett, he's the person who got me in the group, and I used to watch him perform on stage, and I was in awe of it. I was just like, this guy is so, amazing. And that kind of, and even the other actors we had, we had a girl Rose in the group. We had, so a whole bunch of people, Gregory Osi, and we have all these friends of mine, and they're still friends of mine. I still care about them tremendously, and I contact. We talk once in a while, and but to be that lucky to know these kind of people that one give you, I know it sounds weird, like the safe space, but a space where you can have dialogue with each other, you can be honest with each other, you can be angry, you can be sad, whatever it is, and they're there supporting you creatively as well, and you're just bouncing lines off. Bouncing ideas off, and it's so
a special thing.
It is such a magical moment when you can get something right like that. When you have that kind of trust with people, and and the fact that people don't get it, I don't see that in the business world. I had that a little bit, like even where I was, working until recently. I had some people there that were just amazing people. That when I watched them work, and be they at the same level as me, working for me, or I'm working for them, or we're equals, it didn't matter. But when somebody did something really awesome, it always impressed me, and I would tell them, listen, you're fucking awesome at what you do. Just be proud of yourself a little bit, because I can see it. I can see something great here. So, and I don't care what you do off hours.
Great. It's so great when you have peers that understand what you're doing. It's really tough to explain a creative endeavor to somebody that isn't super in that world. It's sort of like, I wrote this thing, and it's sort of like, okay, cool, nice,
I know, like, it's even in the art world, that's
just like impossible for them to know, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like, I'm not going to understand, some conversation that they have in their about their career.
But even in the entertainment world, like even other actors and performers, there are some people who just will never want to go past like a place, and I never understood that, because I started like the sketch comedy stuff, but I started writing for the group, so I had ideas. I'm like, hey, I used to do improv with this guy Greg, because we worked together during our day job, so we would make jokes. I'm like, oh my god, I wrote a sketch, because this is just to be honest, he's a handsome black man. I used to call him a handsome black man. So I made it superheroes: handsome black man, handsome white man, and good-looking Latino boy. And they were just like guys just walk sexy on stage, and, and that's how they got their criminals. And then they battled like two lipstick lesbians who were immune to their powers, and they were very confused. So it was like these little stupid little bits, that I wrote characters, I wrote whole arcs of stories, I wrote recurring characters, and And for me, like to be like, no, I'm just going to do comedy. I just, write am I doing?
Yeah.
I can't, even that for a long time, it was difficult for me to, even when I did plays with people, was to not look at the play if it's an original piece, say, how can I make it better? And I would sit there and just make the play better. I'd think, no, this line sucks. This tempo's wrong. This is not funny. I'll tell you a better line. And I actually sit there at home and write them better.
I love that whole process. I'm going through it right now, or I guess I finished that process. Yeah. Well, it's not finished, like nothing's ever finished.
Nothing's ever finished. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wrote I'm writing a sitcom, and with my writing partner, we just finished our pilot script. Like, it's amazing. This latest draft. Like, it is now in its final form. Okay. Like, which is still like, can be molded.
I'm not going to ask you any details about it, but tell me about the process. Tell me how that worked out for you.
Let me give you details about it, because part of it is already in the public arena. Okay. So the show's called Sunny Acres. Okay. Acres is spelled like a body ache. Okay. It surrounds 4 like kooky old friends. Okay. Who are spending their days in Sunny Acres Rest Home. Okay. And 2 of the 4 old friends are actually played by 20-something actors in wrinkle makeup and gray wigs. All right. I play one of the 2. My writing partner plays the other one. And they basically just get into,
mayhem.
Funny mayhem, hijinks, hilarious situations. Okay. The pilot episode is called Prune Heist.
Prune Heist. Okay.
So, take that as you will.
All right. I will. I'm sure it's a lot of water involved. There's a gazebo in the hot tub. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. That's where my mind went.
Prune Heist, like thieving. Yeah. Or prunes. That dry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's relevant to them. And we have an Instagram for the show where my writing partner and I like got into our costumes and everything, and we just basically did improvised sketches, like loosely, outlined sketches basically, that are not like included in the pilot, but are just those.
Sure. Well, you gotta see where the arc is going, right?
Yeah. Sort of like proofs of concept. Yeah. So yeah, and we just finished like this latest draft of the script. It was a big day, and we're gonna do a reading soon.
That's amazing.
Film it in the near future. Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna send you something right now too, because I wrote a pilot.
Oh yeah, I wanted to read that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'm gonna send you the link right now. Let me see if I can. I got the link. There you go. Pilot. My thing was about corporate espionage.
Yes,
which I thought would be funny. Set in Pennsylvania, of all places. I like Pennsylvania. And when I write, I tend to write with locations I know. It's a big thing for me. So it makes it easier for me to develop a character if I know the space.
For sure.
So if I know like it's a 3-room house and where the kitchen is, stuff like that, then I just go right past it.
It's a good rule of thumb to sort of write what you know in a way.
It is. I can imagine a lot of stuff. Some stuff makes me uncomfortable to do. Like depends. Everything I've written. Let me just say it right now. Everything I've ever written has been like a different genre outside of comedy. Yeah, I try and make it always. Let me see here. 1 person view. Okay. All right. I sent you. So I always all my short films are a different genre. They have a similar style of shooting. So I work with one DP, but they're all like one's found footage. My idea of found footage, which actually involves a suicide. So it's different because to me horror story is not found footage, but real found footage, which does exist in our society, is of people taking their life and wanting to be heard one last time. So I did one like that, which is a dramatic. I put humor in everything I do, but that was the story I wanted to shoot of that character. I did one about gender issues. I've done one. Let's see, one was a haunted house. I did a thriller. I did a coming of age I wanted to shoot a film that I wrote with my sons. So I made a coming of age film, and they're the two boys who fight, and I'm the dad, in it. And I think that's actually pretty funny. To me, it was funny. I want to come back to my comic roots a little bit. Yeah. I've done a full-length play in comedy. I've written dramatic screenplays. I just finished writing like a love story.
You're a writer.
I love writing. I love writing. I really love writing. There is something about being lost in a character's mind and even their soul, I'll say, and their heartache and their passions and their sadness and their happiness, that I smile when I write like a good scene, and I get watery-eyed when I write like a really deep scene. Like you were saying before, like, oh, when you hear a comic truth, it impacts you. When I write a scene or a dialogue and someone's just sad in it or broken or weak, and they're just trying to figure out what they are, I will get like misty-eyed. I start crying sometimes as I'm writing the scene. And
it doesn't sound like it's gripped you quite yet, but maybe eventually you'll develop a real passion for it.
My writing? Yeah. I write as much as I can.
I'm completely kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish I could write more. I wish I could write. It's weird. I hear the voices. Actually, like when I know the sound of the voice. Yeah, when I write the character, I know the sound of the voice. I know the exact voice.
Yeah, well, it's a person.
It's a real person to me. Yeah. Mind. A lot of people don't get, but even that, I was like with acting, even like on stage. I remember I got asked. I was doing a production. I was with a small theater company years back, and we were doing a production in Midtown. And I think it was Midtown. It might have been the West Village. I forgot which. They moved a couple of times. It might have been the West Village. And we were doing a scene, and they called me and said, "Listen, you just play a dad for something." I'm like, "Okay, I'll be a dad." Yeah. So whatever. I know I've reached that age. I'll be the dad. So I do the scene. It's a really powerful scene, and we only rehearsed a couple of times. And I banged through it, and the woman who was playing my wife afterwards, she was like, "Well, I was watching you on stage." She goes, "How do you feel when you act?" Because she said I impressed her. So I'm not gonna say I was awesome, but she said I impressed her. I said, the room is black. That's how I know I hit it. I go, the second I don't see anything else in the room. I know where everything is. I can improv. I can improv it. I still know where things are and the marks are. I'm not that lost, but I'll react to what's happening. And I've even done that, like we're even stage with. I did one production where like something happened to the audience. And I improv a bit, even though I was in that zone of only seeing black. I knew there were bodies there. I know there's people there, but I just had to do what I had to do and get into that space.
I love so much about theater.
Yeah, it's just I do miss that. With my comedy group, I got my fix of theater every week. We did a show. We did 2 shows a month, a new show every month for the first 10 months. So we wrote 55 minutes of material every month for 10 months. And it was always new. And we would put it up twice that month. So we rehearse. We wrote 3 shows before we even started performing together. So we wrote 3 hours of material before we even got up on stage. Wow. And then after that, what we would do is we start writing the next show, and we would just, okay, rehearse this show, boom, put it up. Start writing the next show. By the second week,
it had to be ready.
What, huh?
Well, you cranking it out.
Oh yeah, no, we did. No, I was stunned at the end, and we even have we had a greatest hits run where we would fill like a 200 person space easy. Nice. Which is like, in New York, that's actually pretty good. You can fill 200-300 people, like sold out. Sold out, yeah, like sold out spaces. Right. And we would have like questions. We leave questionnaires on the table. They'll do which are your favorite sketches, and we did a whole year of people just saying, yeah, these are my favorite sketches.
Wow.
And we would just bring back sketches. We had so much material, and they had favorites, recurring characters, all kinds of things.
Wow.
So it was a real.
That's so special.
It was very special. Yeah, that was really, really, really special. To the point where, I'm constantly seeking that. And it's hard when you've had it so good.
Yeah.
And you're constantly, for me, it's a constant thing of like, okay, when can I get that again? When can I get? We used to meet every Sunday morning, like no matter what. Every Sunday morning we met, and we'd have our jokes for an hour. We were allowed to joke for an hour, and then we got to work. But we would sit there and just joke we knew we all had an hour, and we would just bring stories and laughter, and we'd make notes if a story was really good. Okay, I'm going to write this, and that's it. And then we would come back next week. Yeah, it's written. Here we go. Here's 3 sketches done. Because from that one joke. But we knew it was so healthy, and it was a great feeling. Yeah, really, really. I wish whenever I see people doing stuff, I wish they had that kind of environment that I had. It was a really, really nice thing, and it pushed me to play. It made me become, the artistic. It's weird to say it, about yourself, like the artistic. That was weird. The artistic person that I am. It really made me very comfortable with compliments, which is a very difficult thing for me. And
for a lot of people, sure.
Yeah. I like very little about myself, so that's why I'm always striving to make characters. Right. That was my defense mechanism as a kid. I was an immigrant. My parents didn't speak English well. We were supers. We had there's a stigmatism and all that stuff about that. And me, I mean, that's what kids even said. Like, you guys are poor. We weren't. I was like, we're not. Like, my father busts his ass. He's working really hard. Actually, he's got more money than you. He's got more money than your doctor dad. Just saying. But I go, this is what we do. We hustle, we work, and we save. And
it's called working hard.
Yeah, that's what we do. Sorry. Sorry, that's what we do.
Yeah.
And by the time he ended his life, he was living in a very nice neighborhood, a nice house, spending his money the way he wanted to. And the guy came in his country with $80. No one propped him up. No one did anything for him. So that was my defense mechanism, was to try and be funny and try and fit in, try and feel good about myself. But I always felt like, I wasn't, even though later on people told me, oh, you were. I'm like, I never felt it. I think I really got better. I broke out after high school. That was my first breakout right after high school. My speed got there. And then I went to Hunter College for my bachelor's degree.
Oh yeah.
And I met some people there, awesome people there also, who were into like theater and performing. I didn't know what improv was, but I was doing improv then. We were just joking around like I did in my house. And we would do it.
Scary.
We would make up improv games that when I went to UCB, I was like, this is what I play with. I know this game because I've done it like organically with somebody. We just did it. We used to do we used to call a tag team improv. Mm-hmm. So we would have what we do is we were sitting like literally in I think the third floor by the escalators at Hunter College, and we would do scene, sneaker store, and two people would be employees and two people would be people, shoppers, and if you got stuck, you would tag out. It was like in wrestling.
Yeah.
So we would just do it for hours, just between classes, and it was to me, I was like, wow, and that was like my second, push forward.
Yeah.
Creatively, to get okay. I felt that was funny. I found some people who also like to goof around like me, and like a structure was building in my head, and then when I got to the comedy group, that I felt was like, okay, now I think I know who I am.
Yeah.
Because I was getting recognition at a different level. And my speed was insanely fast by then. Where like I could just say things.
That is like having that speed. It's a muscle. You just lose it. Like, but it's like such an elation when you.
It is. It's a race. We used to race. Like, it was funny because it was a race. Like, especially with the comedy group. When something would happen, who could come with the best line was like, we would trip over the words trying to say it. Trip over.
Because your brain is like, I got to get this out.
Oh my God. And it even got to the point where I was going too fast. And then that's when as soon as you cross lines, you don't want to cross. So I got into the habit of actually saying my second idea. Because I felt that was more, it had matured more.
It passed,
Which was like a nanosecond longer, right? I was like, first thought is always too easy. Go with the second thought. So so the joke would always be my second line. And I just tell people, you didn't even hear my first joke. This is my second one.
You should have heard my first joke.
But really, bro, I probably got 4 more coming. I'm just gonna move on to the next thing because that's how fast it works. And let me go.
Don't laugh too long because I have more to say. Stop laughing. I have more to say.
And then that's what
I got more for you.
My sons laugh hysterically. My sons laugh hysterically. I still joke. I bet
they do.
Oh, we have great times. We joke all the time. Actually, I was having a conversation with my younger boy last night for like an hour, and he said something, and he said something random, and I made a dirty dad joke, and he's like, "Why do I? Because I think I set myself up with you. That's what I did." He's like, I think I set myself up. Because that was very good. I was like, but it was good. He goes, it was great. It was great timing. It was really good timing. You shouldn't have said that to me because I'm your son.
Yeah, when something's so funny that you're just like, That was funny.
Yeah, he's like, that's so fun. I'm like,
That was
okay.
really funny.
Like, it was a good time. He goes, perfect. I'm like, okay, great. That's all I need to know. I just need to know it's a good time. That my rhythm was okay. So it's a weird relationship. Not weird, but to me it's normal. That's our relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have also like a comedy relationship with my father. That's how I think I developed my
probably, yeah. Well, even you're part of the world. I've known a lot of Armenians from Brooklyn, actually, and they are again. I think the people's that come from that part of the world, which is not heavily invested historically in this country, have a lot to say, and they say it, and we all become, by association, storytellers by listening to our family talk, because they got to be heard. And I said to a girl who was she was half. I did that short. I try and hire as many Albanians as I can, just because I want to help people do things.
Absolutely.
And I hired this girl who was French Albanian. Her mom was French, and dad was Albanian. And we're in rehearsal. And I always give trivia about being Albanian because it's kind of cool. And she and her mom rolled their eyes. And I said, I'm sorry. I go, well, I'm the director and the producer, so you can listen. And the mom goes, well, you know what? Her dad does this all the time, and enough already. And I was like, well, I got a counter argument to you. I go, you're French, right? He goes, yeah. I go, you're really proud of being French, even though you've been here for friggin' 3 generations, right?
Right.
She goes, well, yeah. I said, okay, well, everybody knows your friggin' history. Like everybody knows. Everybody knows what France is given.
Yeah, everybody learns it.
Yeah, but we have to learn it. Like we have to learn it. I go, but no one knows what Albania is given. Now, I've said this. I go, we've given that. Do you know about that? Like, well, no, but it's not important. It isn't important to you, but if I said forget all French history, you'd be pissed.
Yeah.
If I said all French history is useless to me right now, it's useless.
No, I think it's.
So that's why I feel like Armenians, Albanians, anybody from the Balkans, except Greek, because they have a hard on for their own history. But any of the even Eastern Bloc countries, they feel like they still have stories to tell, and they have kept that. They have kept that storytelling tool culturally. Yeah, I don't think
you have anything to lose, like from learning about where other people come from.
Oh, I'm with you 100%. I look for commonalities constantly. I think it's really, really interesting. Be it, there's a great YouTube channel where there's one guy, he compares languages and seeing how similar they are. I forgot his name. I'll put the link on.
There's a lot of like multilingual, like polyglot.
Yeah, that's actually but this guy does is he'll take like Albanian and he took Albanian and Serbian and said, okay, I'm gonna find common words with you if you guys can figure out sentences. And it's super interesting. He did one with Armenian too. I forgot who he did. He might have been with Turkish.
It could be Turkish, could be Farsi.
Farsi. He did a couple of them. Yeah. So talking about the influence, and he's looking for common ground with languages. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is really cool because it gives you an idea, a concept of languages that don't have walls really. And the same thing like with jokes. I mean, jokes should be international. I can tell a joke in Albanian. I'm just as funny as I am in English. And I lived in Germany for a while. I used to be the funny guy in Germany too.
That's a huge achievement to be able to be funny in another language.
People always said that to us. It just became natural. I don't know. We were always funny.
Well, I guess if you are
multilingual,
if you've been fluent in them for so long, I guess.
I guess. But in Germany too, I was a joke guy in the class. I was a joke guy saying stuff.
I guess you're just fantastic.
I am a little bit. I am a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it about me. Finally. I finally feel comfortable saying that about me.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I sent you my scripts. Read them. I'd love your feedback.
I'm going to read them. I'm going to read the hell out of your script. Yeah. Hey, let me tell you about the newest thing that I'm doing before I forget to tell you about it.
Tell me, please.
It's very recent. I was cast as a lead in an off-Broadway musical.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It's called The Jury.
Okay.
It's going to be in Manhattan.
All right.
In February, from the 11th to the 26th.
Is there any promotional link out right now?
Yes.
Great. I want you to send it to me. So I'm gonna put it down below.
The tickets are on sale.
I would love to come and see it.
It's a dark comedy.
Even more love now to come see it.
The music is fantastic.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm going to send you some of my scripts, so I want you to read my stuff.
We gotta dive into each other's work.
Definitely. No, definitely. No, I'm very intrigued by it. Now, dark comedy musical is what I want to hear.
I know. When I like every time I read deeper into the musical and I listen to another song, I'm like, this is exactly what I love.
That's amazing.
It like sort of worked out. It was a
No,
blessing.
that's great. I'm already excited to even hear it. Like I said, even saying that to me is really. Yeah, I'm not a musical guy. I'm just not that guy. I like music, but
right. No, I understand.
But when I see a good one, like West Side Story that I saw recently,
right.
you know, my favorite before that was Chicago. I thought it was an amazing production.
Yeah, it is.
You know, Rocky Horror Picture Show is probably the best musical in the world to me. You know, that's even though people don't think of it, but like that because it's campy, but it's a freaking hilarious. I still look at it and find things after all these years.
Yeah,
you know, and that's how rich it is. That's how rich it is.
It is rich.
It's such a rich film and story. So, you know, seeing that more stuff, and that's the thing. I think more people should be creating stuff like that. You know, change. Yeah. Let's just break it up a little bit. You know, we have to stop. Yeah. You know, being in this pattern that is so narrow with people that, you know, a comfort zone. I know we're talking a little bit of like, yeah, you can't say anything now, like, you know, can't with wokeness or cancel culture. You know, I actually disagree with that. I don't think we are in that world. One, I think you can say no to anything you want. You know, I don't want to watch you. I don't want to watch you. I'll cancel you. I don't give a shit. You know, because I would have done it 10 years ago before the computers. I just would have avoided you. That's all it is, me avoiding you and not hearing you. But I think we have to find a place where we have to explore beyond our comfort zone. And that I agree with. Like, you know, a good joke is a good joke. A deep story is a deep story, even if you don't like the content. Yeah, there's a great film. What is it? Winter. It's about God, let me find it here. It's a great drama film. Winter Snow, is that what it is? One of the Olsen girls in that. The guy was Hawkeye.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Let's see. It's about a native reservation. Elizabeth Olsen. She's in that. Let me see which ones. I'll find a few. If you can watch it, it's a great film. It's a great film. It's one of my of that year. It was one of my favorite films, actually. And what the hell is this now? Sorry, now I'm like lost. Wind River.
Getting stuck in like the
Wind River in 2017. Yeah, it was one of the best films.
Your guess was Winter Snow.
Yeah, it's a snow. There is snow there. It's in like
there is snow. There is
yeah.
Snow.
So there's a W in there. I knew there's a W in there, and that's how I go. But if you can watch it, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a great dramatic film, and it's uncomfortable. The topic's uncomfortable. You know, it's really uncomfortable. It's about the laws and how they apply to Native Americans on their reservation, and how different laws apply to U.S. citizens outside the reservation than to those people in the reservation.
Right.
So effectively, that if you commit a crime, say you're working on the reservation, and they have their own courts, your reservations. If you commit a crime as a U.S. citizen, not a resident of the reservation, their laws don't apply to you. So you can commit the crime and
like
leave.
Out of that, it's like a jurisdiction.
Yeah, you just leave, and they don't prosecute people. They don't know. You got to let him go. He's part of America, not part of the reservation. And so it's a really weird thing. And I was reading up on it afterwards, but it's because of the movie, all the stuff came out. But it's such like a powerful thing. But like, again, that's something like I don't feel comfortable even if you told me that story, like, okay, I don't feel comfortable like watching this. But when I watched it, I forced myself to watch it. I was like, what a freaking great film. You know, even though I wasn't comfortable. Yeah, I know it's not, you know, the same level as comedy, but with comedy, say some, you know, you can say some weird jokes and they're really funny as long as you're not, you know, being a total prick and not being hateful and not being all this and that. I think, you know, that's something different.
Funny is funny. Like funny
right.
Is
yeah. Well, when you're hateful, it's not funny. It's awkward laugh. And I think people confuse that.
Well, then that's just a totally different thing. Like,
yeah, it is. No, it is. Yeah. I think a lot of people confuse that. And I think a lot of people have success. And some people just like seeing a shit show.
I mean, yeah, but there's a difference between like insulting somebody and then you being offended by that insult and then, or like you just not liking somebody's joke. Yeah. You're allowed to you're allowed to think that somebody's joke isn't funny, but that doesn't mean that the joke isn't objectively funny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you 100%. Yeah. No, I'm with you 100% on that. Yeah. It's just because you didn't like it. Okay. I don't have to like it. You know, that's okay. Like
comedians, like people in comedy, I think have a common ground in that.
Yeah.
Like about, you know, being sensitive to
No,
things?
I get that. No, I think we do, but I think also, and this applies to every field. And we'll probably, we've been talking for a long time. People can get bored of us, but I think this applies to every field that you can appreciate that, but people at some point go to a certain level where they don't want to be judged. Right. And that's why I get upset with some people. Like, you can't cancel me. Actually, people can, because maybe at this point you have to reevaluate your humor, and maybe it's not working anymore. And you're not, and when a lot of people do it, you're like, wait a second, hold on. Yeah, times change. You have to shift, and you have to, advance your career in a certain way, be it dramatic or anything. Things got to change, and you have to evolve. If you're stuck in that one place in any form, you're just stuck. And that's not me. You're forcing me to watch you how you were 20 years ago. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear that. I've seen this joke done 100 times. I was years ago, last story, first Iraq invasion we had. So that's how old I am. So I was with my brother, and we were out at his comedy club, my younger brother, and we're a couple of people. And we're sitting there. First comic comes up, and the guy goes, "What's up with these Muslim go fuckers?" Right? First comic. Second comic, "What's up with these Muslim go fuckers?" By the seventh comic, I told the comic, "Listen, can you think of some? Are you guys even here?" I literally stood up. "Do you guys even listen to your bits?" I said, "What are you saying?" I cut him off. I said, if I have to hear one more guy say, "What's up with these Muslim go fuckers?" I go, I have no idea what you guys are even doing. I go, "You're being insulting. It's not a joke." I go, "I don't know why you're like doing this. I happen to be Muslim champ."
And they're repeating the joke of the last guy.
Yeah, I said, I go, it's been, it was sort of funny, the first guy, but you're number 7. You're number 7 in the same night, in the same club. Like, if you guys can't evolve past this, are you really a comic?
That's a tough one, because it's just like, why are you repeating the joke of the guy that just went right?
Kelly, I shit you not. It was literally verbatim almost.
That's pretty.
And I was like, you guys don't listen. And I think that's something, actually, a very similar thing I saw a few years ago. It was my friend was doing stand-up, and he pulled me in, to watch his show. And I was like, great. And there's a bunch of female comics on there. And they were just talking about, who they're banging upsets their parents. And it was literally almost the same routine, like 4 girls. And I was like, you guys gotta and that's the thing when I tell people, like I review short films. That's one of my biggest things I tell people is you got to watch films to know about films.
Yeah.
You got to watch what's out there. Don't think you're going to steal anything. You're not. You're going to create your own ideas, but keep watching, keep learning, because you get stuck in the cycle and you never get out of it. And you think you're original and you're not. And I think that's where a lot of the problems are right now. Where some people are like really angry, and some people they are generally funny. And like, yeah, no, I get you, bit, bro. It's fucking hilarious, And then it's over a fucked up thing, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I cannot knock your timing.
Thing, like you have to. I mean, the jokes that we make are all based on the
impact,
accumulation of things that we've been exposed to. So the richer that accumulation is,
I love it.
That's the number of things we can pull.
I love it. But if you're not doing something original, then I'm like, okay, you're still doing your bit and you want to be famous. Okay, I guess I get it, but do I have to really give a shit? Like, was it Louis C.K.? Is that what it is? Yeah, Louis C.K. Louis C.K. I heard about him. I know we're still talking. This is crazy. But I knew about him doing a lot of creepy shit for a couple of years before it happened. And I remember there's an actress I was working with on a project, and I told her about it, and she goes, "Oh no, none of those are true." I go, "No, it's pretty true." I go, "I'm telling you, it's true." I go, "This is like I've read articles about it. I know the comics. I know of them. I don't know them personally, but I know those comics. I've been following their careers for years, and they're saying, like, they've been implying it's him being a kind of like a predator." And being really fucked up and playing a power dynamic, and because that's his bit. And she was like adamant, but he's hilarious. I'm like, well, and he's writing creepy shit, and he really, if you look at his stuff, it hasn't changed. So his bits haven't changed. He
was a lot of shock humor.
He did, but it was the same material, just worded a little different. And I'm like, okay, I get that too, but you got to give me something new. You got to discover something new. It can't just be your age changed. And that's like that's one of my peeves with comics too. As soon as they tell me I had a baby and it changed my life, I'm like, bro, a lot of people have babies. That is not. I don't give a shit. Show me funny. Show me something funnier rather than you discovering that a baby poops itself 20 times a day. I've heard this so many times, you know, and it's not unique to me.
I mean, that's okay if, you know, somebody's comedy doesn't work for you, you know, like that's the whole point. Like, that's okay.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, but him, like him being angry that, oh my God, if it doesn't work anymore, it doesn't work. You know, and that's it. You know, that's fine. I can never see a show. I'm cool with it. But, you know, like this person refused to believe that he was doing stuff. And it was like, no, but he's a genius. I'm like, I don't know if he's a genius. I don't know. We'll see. Can he come back? You know, we'll see. And now he's doing tours again. So I'd like to see if he can reinvent himself. You know, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think people can do that.
Oh, I think so too. You always got to give people a chance. I know people are fucked up. So I don't believe in that. You know, I believe you got to give somebody a chance. You know, they have to, you know, do something. If they want to stay the same,
as you've given yourself, right?
Yeah. No, well, if they want to stay the same, that's where you're like, yeah, I'm done with you. You know, we can break up. But if someone's like, hey, you know, I'm gonna move, like even the Chappelle thing, you know, I felt he wanted to introduce himself to people, you know, differently. And that was what his reason was doing that show, that special, you know, and he was trying to show, hey, this is who I am, understand who I am. So I understood it, you know, I understood it. I totally got what he was doing. You know, I appreciated it. You know, so I mean, I think people just wanted to be something else. I'm like, he's opening up himself to you. You got to put a lot of trust, you know, in that. You know, that he's being so honest with you.
Right.
You know, take it, enjoy it. Wow, we talked a lot. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize. It was a great conversation.
It was actually
so much subject matter.
We did, and I'm very excited the follow up on the play.
Oh,
I'm really, really curious. Really, when does it open again? February
11th.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck on the rehearsals. I know it's going to be a bear. Thanks. So enjoy that. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process.
Oh man, and, I'm going to do my best to soak up every second.
You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna be great in it. Everybody watching, this is Kelly Grago. Really, really enjoying a conversation with her. I hope you will see her again. I hope we will chat some more. Hopefully after the production, we can talk about the whole play. That'll be awesome. And you know, she's got awards then. Obviously, she's miming I got an award. And miming is just totally underappreciated in this country. So look at that. She's got a webcam wall right there.
Got so many skills.
So many skills. Let's meet again. Let's talk. Yeah, and, this will be great. Great. Thanks everybody. Subscribe, like, share. Kelly, please. I'll share this with my friends too. You can share hopefully if you like it. I'll put it up there. And this will be great. Send me those links, please. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody. Bye.